Hello everyone and welcome to my online chess lecture channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you the advanced gambit trick. Okay, your opponent is playing as a black pieces and you are playing as a white pieces. Let's get started. You'll open with this king's pawn opening, pawn to e4, black will respond with e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, and bishop to c5. Now you'll push this b pawn to b4 square and this is even gambit. Now black can take this pawn with this bishop or knight. The best thing black can do is to capture this pawn with this bishop. Bishop takes on b4 and you are up a pawn, so now you need to open up the game as soon as possible. So we'll play c4. Now the bishop can go back to a5 square, or f8, which most which none of the player would have done would do. Or you can move to d6 square. That is not a good square since you will be blocking this d7 pawn. And the last square, or to c5 square, but still after pawn to d4, again you have to move this bishop to b6 square or e7 square. Let's say bishop to e7 will play d4. If e takes on d4, will simply play c takes on d4. Now you can see we are in a better position of the game. We have two pawn in the center. Our pieces are active. We can bring our king to b3 square and attack this big f7 pawn. We can play knight to g4 and attack on this f7 pawn. Going back, if you place something like pawn to d6 to support this e5 pawn, then we'll bring our queen to b3 square and attack this f7 pawn. If black played knight to a5, attacking queen and bishop, will simply play bishop to f7, giving a check. If king moves to d7 square, then we'll simply play knight takes on e5 check, and d takes on, after d takes on e5, then queen to e6 is a checkmate, so he cannot move to d7 square. Going back, now if king moves to f8, then we play queen to a4, then king takes on f7, queen takes in a5. Now you can see the material is equal, but we are way ahead in the game. Our queen is in the open space. We have developed our knight, and black cannot castle, and we can still castle. Going back, if you play something like knight to h6, defending this f7 square, then we'll simply play bishop takes on h6 and remove the defender of this f7. And after g takes on h6, bishop to f7 check, and if king move to d7, then again queen to e6 would be beautiful model checkmate. Going back, if king move to f8, then we'll simply play bishop to h5, threatening a checkmate in next move. Going back, if from this position black plays bishop to a5, sorry bishop to a5, then we'll simply play d6, d4, and if d6, then we'll simply bring our queen to b3 and attack this f7 pawn with the same idea which we have discussed earlier. Going back, if you play d4, e takes on d4, now we cannot capture this d4 pawn with the c3 pawn since our this c3 pawn is pinned, so we'll simply castle. And after, if you'll be greedy and capture our pawn d takes on c3, then we'll simply play going to b3, again attacking this f7 pawn. Now the only way to save this f7 pawn is either bringing is going to e7 or f6. If he brings to f6, then we'll simply push this e pawn to e5 square, and if knight takes on e5, then we'll simply play rook to e1. If d6, then we'll simply play going to a4 check, and his bishop is gone. Going back, if you play something like going to e7, then we'll simply play knight takes on c3 since he's giving out pawn. If black plays this natural developing move knight to f6, then we'll simply play knight to d5 attacking the queen. If knight takes on d5, then we'll simply capture this knight with this e pawn. E takes on d5, thus attacking this c6 knight. If you play knight to b4, then it would be disaster. After rook to e1, then his queen is gone. Going back, if you play knight to e5, then we'll simply play knight takes on e5, and after queen takes on e5, we'll simply play bishop to b2, attacking his queen as well as g7 pawn. If we play queen to g5, saving this g7 pawn, then we'll play queen to f3, not allowing black to castle. Now you can see these three pieces are mere spectators. Now you are way ahead in the game. Your bishop is out in the open. You can easily attack this king by bringing this, by sacrificing one of the rook. So you should easily win this game from this position. Now the move which I want to focus is queen takes on e4. Then you simply play bishop to g5, attacking this f6 knight and putting more pressure on it. If he castles, then simply play bishop takes on f6, and after g takes on f6, knight takes on f6, forking both queen as well as king. Going back, what if he plays bishop to c5? Then we simply play d4, e takes on d4 is force, and after c takes on d4, and if bishop moves to b6, then still we are way ahead in the game. We can bring this dark square bishop to a3 and prevent castling, or we can bring this dark square bishop to g5 square and attack the queen, and overall we'll be way ahead in the game. Now you may be wondering, what if knight takes on b4, then simply play c3, and if knight retreats back to c6, then simply castle. Now you can see you are way ahead in the game. You can simply bring queen to b3 and attack this f7 pawn. You can push this d pawn to d4 square and attack this bishop. So you are in overall in good position. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.